There is a saying, this is originally Confucius. It says, at age 70, I follow my heart desires without overstepping the bounds of what was right. But this is mainly for the morality. But I thought this applies to the way of living life even beyond that. One idea to explain is that check, act, plan, do cycle. But my definition for CAPD, check, act, plan, do, check is to be connected at the very root of who we are, absolute state of being, which is no mind and no self. Like right now, when the mind is quiet, I sense that quality of my mind is open. And under such situation, when mind moves to think of this and that, you may be drawn into that thinking, or you can stay with this state of being and make a judgment. Like the ego pops up and want to do this or that, let it go. So check, and then you can maneuver, so to speak, by connecting to the root or the heart. Then you may be able to make that proper judgment. But if you don't, then you get into that delusion, following your desire, egocentric way. But if you realize, earlier the better, then you can reconnect it to the root. When you do that, instead of finding the delusion, desire, fear, anything related to ego, instead of that, you may come up with peaceful state as you are at that absolute state of being, no mind, no self, or the mind moves and not going into delusion, come up with the wisdom and compassion. So you have a choice. If whatever comes up in your mind is checked with this absolute state of being, you can let go of it. Don't spend time, get out of it. You don't need to chase more than enough wealth or fame so that you can see things better instead of being caught up in that idea. And therefore you can stay back in that absolute state of being. I call ASB, absolute state of being. But it may bring out the wisdom and compassion, and if that happens, you are in line to the way you live well, even anti-entropic way, so that you don't get suffering, disorganized, but you can keep sanity, be sincere and truthful, and live life according to whatever as mind desires, and without overstepping to the boundary of ethical issue or anything that create delusion. So I don't mean to say I'm like a Confucius, but this is beyond Confucius state of, you might call it the middle way, balanced way of living life, so that you don't get into the delusion, or if you do, you come back and find the right path. So as your mind desire, you can still follow the way of nature. Doesn't create difficulty for others or for yourself, because it's not aligned to the heart. The brain is not aligned. Then you notice that, you check on that, and then figure out what to do. So you plan and act upon that basis, and check again if it's suited to you. So I thought about it when I was in meditation or zazen at the Zen Temple. And the funny thing happened, it's like a test case. And so the sitting was 6 hours ago, something like that. And after zazen meditation, we had some people chatting this and that. And then did the samu, which is cleaning up the bathroom and stuff like that. And after having lunch, before the lunch, when we get all the samu done, the work done, the bathroom or anything, kitchen, any work outside, we come back, and then we had a little chat among the group of people who are here at this Zen Center, but with also additional people who are in charge of how to run this Zen Temple. And there was a moment, one person said, I've been hearing this noise every night, 9 o'clock or something, and that has to change. So he said that as a reflection of the group. Something's happening. So I was not the one, but one person said, yeah, that could be me. And that was not a very pleasant situation. Why couldn't he talk to him directly, but waiting for the group to get together and spread this news? I don't know. In my case, I don't think I never complained, except that I make mistakes here and there. And that pops up as a part of discussion. Then I learn the lesson and this check, act, plan, do. Perform better. Still I make mistakes. Today I made a mistake too. I was in charge of an altar, the flowers and stuff, and I get in there, and there was this person, so I was jumping in, kind of meeting her as I was to clean up the flower. But I was rushing, so apparently I forgot to put the flower in, or just took unnecessary ones out, but didn't bring. I did have a flower to put in there, but apparently I forgot to put it in. It was on the railing. So that was one of the complaints, that I didn't do a good job. It wasn't my intention. So those mistakes can be found and shared as a group. And I said, I'm sorry, I forgot I had a flower and I didn't put it in because I was not thinking right. So, but that's my case. But the other case I thought was a little bit heavy. Not just a forgotten thing, but so I stayed quiet. I didn't feel good about it. And I'm saying this story related to what I was talking as as you follow your heart desire in your mind, but not going beyond. That is the moment of exercising. Just accepting. Except I thought I'll talk with that guy who was complained, which I don't know if I'll do it or not, but I kind of felt sorry. So that's just one example. Those events happens as people use word and what is the right protocol that if you violate, if you forgot something or you're oblivious, let's keep learning. But this process of check, duck, plan, do, more you do it, it becomes just a way. So Confucius says morality, but I think it's beyond morality. Choosing the path, right path, as human, every step of the way. And that is connected to may all beings be happy. It's not just yourself, but in relation to others. So that's the story for today. I was a bit discouraged for this setting and how it played out. But that's part of the way we live in this small community. But it can happen in the company, society, the nation, and as a whole. So how do you deal with it? My imagination, my proposal is CAPD, check, act, plan, do. More we do it, less we create difficulties. We learn and implement so that the failure is not failure. You can recover. And therefore, may all beings be happy one step at a time. Sometimes step 3 back, 3 step back, and go 2 step and 3 step again further. So you are not going down, but moving forward. Eventually, as human will die, but this process of us being born is anti-entropic process. And that idea, may all beings be happy, may continue. It may not. But for one reason or the other, this discussion of AI that I'm working on, to me is a serious concern. So we always go back to the AI issue, but still, even without that, the basic way of living life is to get to the point, not just using the brain, listening to the heart, and not just listening to the art. Heart provide ideas, compassion, wisdom, and you listen to it, then you know the path going forward. Everything is impermanent, but we can do that. I hope that it's meaningful to talk about it. By the way, in this circle of discussion, the starting point is how's your life going on? No, the question is, what did you find something that is important that you want to talk about? So each person talked, and I said, I don't know if that was the right question, but I said, it's life. I'm appreciating life. That's the event I'm very happy about. I'm glad I can say that, at least for the moment. And let's work on it without, not too much in the brain, but listening to the heart, connecting to the root, absolute state of being, how we came out as human, the basic, my eternal home. That's what I say. Thank you. May all beings be happy.